And on the other side, the AFC side, again, I told you that this is going to be more of a quarterback game. I'm not, no disrespect to the Chiefs, no disrespect to the Bengals. I mean, we know the weapons that the Bengals have. We know how good the Chiefs have been. I mean, hell, this is the 5th consecutive time the Chiefs have been hosting the AFC Championship. But again, it goes back to that injury. I talked about it last episode. Patrick Mahomes, I mean, he's going to win MVP this year. Patrick Mahomes has been the best and is the best quarterback in the league. I mean, you can argue, you can't really argue it. The weapons that he had, or the weapons at his disposal, as far as his innate talents, the way he throws the ball, his timing. Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the league. And when you have the best quarterback in the league, you always have a shot. You are able to make people like Juju Smith-Schuster, like Valdez-Scantling. You're able to make them look better than they possibly are just because of how good you are. McCole Harmon. Because think about it. McCole Harmon wouldn't start if he played with the Bengals in that offensive, those offensive wide receivers. Juju Smith-Schuster wouldn't start if he played for the Bengals. Mark Valdez-Scantling would not start if he played. The only outside catching option that would start for the Bengals would be Travis Kelce. So that just shows the greatness that is Patrick Mahomes. Now, again, it goes back to the injury, though. One thing I did like, and that I saw once Patrick Mahomes got hurt against who did they just play? Against the Jaguars, is it kind of they had to emphasize and enhance the running game, and the running game looked better. Now, the thing that kind of killed them last year against the Bengals was the fact of you get up to a big lead. In fact, they've played the Bengals 3 times, and every single time they've had a lead or a big lead going either into the fourth quarter or going into the second half. When the Bengals have the weapons that they have, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, Hayden Hurst, you cannot let up. Because of how good Joe Burrow is, because of how good Zach Taylor has been, especially offensively, you cannot let up. And I feel like that's one way that the Chiefs could lose is they tend to turn off how they have to flip the switch, like we talk about Golden State flipping the switch and some of the great teams flipping the switch. It feels like they turn the switch off mid game. It's like mid-game is like, all right, we're already up 21 or we're already up. Let's just coast. And no, that doesn't work, especially in the AFC Championship, especially in the playoffs, especially against a team like the Bengals that don't quit. So the one way that the Chiefs can win, of course, is Patrick Mahomes. And he's able to get the best out of Travis Kelce and get the best out of his wide receivers. And also because Patrick Mahomes be so great, you can lean on the running game a little bit more because they're so worried about the passing game. The problem is, and the way that they could lose, of course, is that injury. A high ankle sprain usually takes 4 to 6 weeks to heal. I'm not a doctor, but that's what everyone says. And he's coming off 8 days, and he's practicing, by the way. So I don't know what the hell they're putting in the Kansas City drinks, but a Patrick Mahomes that's not 100% definitely scares me, especially in the AFC Championship. Also, whether they can lose is their defense. We've been talking about this for a while now. Their defense has been a huge hindrance to them. Maybe not their running defense because you have a Chris Jones and those big boys on the defensive line, but the secondary, man, their secondary gives up so many plays, and they've been good. I mean, they were good against the Jaguars, but no disrespect to the Jaguars, but the Jaguars are not the Cincinnati Bengals. The wide receivers that the Chiefs had to worry about for the Jaguars are most definitely not the wide receivers they have to worry about with the Bengals. But again, their defense has kind of been like that. I mean, you had to give up Ward, you had to give up Tyrann Mathieu. Their defense has been like that for a minute, and like I just stated, this is the 5th year they're hosting the AFC Championship. So they can win because you have the best quarterback in the league in Patrick Mahomes, and they can lose because of that defense and Patrick Mahomes' injury. We don't know how limited he's going to be because Patrick Mahomes is very twitchy. He's not a Lamar Jackson, clearly, but he's constantly moving and constantly surveying. So how is his mobility going to be hindered with that injury? We're just going to have to see. For the Bengals, I mean, they have been, for the last 2 months, they've probably been one of, if not the best team in the AFC. With the consistency that they've had in Joe Burrow and the run game, it's been again. Remember how bad this team looked coming into the year? That's one of the biggest reasons why I said that they would not make the playoffs. I mean, you have the Super Bowl hangover, especially being the losing team. I didn't have faith in them. However, I clearly was wrong. Joe Burrow has in my opinion kind of rose up to be the second or third, I'll say second best quarterback in the league. And that's why I said that this matchup is going to be the battle of the quarterbacks, because you have, in my opinion, the best 2 quarterbacks in the league. And one quarterback has weapons galore. The other one makes the weapons better around them. And that's no shot of Joe Burrow, but yes, Joe Burrow makes people better, but I mean, you have all-world wide receivers on your team, and you have an all-world running back on your team. So one way that the Bengals can win is they feast on the Chiefs secondary. Again, Jamar Chase gets open and find ways to get him open, find ways to get T. Higgins. T. Higgins is like the ultimate with his size and his strength and his height. He's like the ultimate cheat code. He's like the ultimate creative player when we talk about wide receiver. Tyler Boyd, he's able to hit big shots. Then you have Joe Mixon, who's more of a fast, twitchy running back, and you have Samaje Perine, who is more of a physical, north to south running back. Then you have Hayden Hurst. They will have their opportunities to feast on that secondary that is the Chiefs. And one way that they can lose is, even though the Bengals looked really good against the Bills, they're still missing 2 or 3 of their 5 starting offensive linemen. And while they looked good against the Bills, the Chiefs have a better pass rush than the Bills. And the question is this offensive line going to be able to hold up against a Chris Jones and hold up against this ferocious Kansas City Chiefs defense and will Joe Burrow have enough time to get the ball out? As we saw the first time or last year in the AFC Championship, especially the first half, it was a struggle. Which is one of the biggest reasons why the Chiefs got up to like a 21 or 17 point lead. They did blow it, yes, but still. So who do I have in this? I've been going back and forth because of the Patrick Mahomes injury. They're saying that he's looking good, but again, every medical person is saying a high ankle sprain takes 4 to 6 weeks to heal. Last time I checked, they played last week. So I'm gonna go with the Chiefs, though. I'm gonna go with the Chiefs because Patrick Mahomes is practicing and he said he's getting better. And I feel that the Cincinnati Bengals offensive line is going to struggle more with this Kansas City Chiefs pass rush than they did with the Bills. That's one of the biggest reasons why Von Miller was brought to the Bills team. He wasn't there, and as you saw, they kind of did whatever they want with the Bills. I don't think that's the case for the Chiefs. I have the Chiefs winning, I'm going to say 31-27. 31-27. I think that this is going to be a quarterback game, and I'm still going to go down. I'm going to go with the best quarterback in the league in Patrick Mahomes. And that's no offense to the Bengals, but because the Bengals definitely deserve to be here. I just have Patrick Mahomes. So I have the Kansas. My Super Bowl is Kansas City and the Eagles. So we'll see where that goes from there. Oh, man, you stayed to the end of the video. I appreciate you. If you like what you saw, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you'll never miss any content from your boy. You can also go back and watch past episodes, past clips, and don't forget that the Unpopular Podcast, new episodes drop every Wednesday and Saturday. Appreciate you.